Hey guys, this is the second video of a two-part series where I talk about my experience with vertigo. The link to the first video is in the description down below, so watch that before you watch this video. Let's keep the story going.
So we spend the night at my house, and the next day we plan on going to Universal. And so I was there with my two friends, Brian and Joe, and we go to Universal, everything seems good, and we're in line for Rip Ride Rocket. And so it's outside, there's fans and there's water fountains, but it's still hot outside. So we're waiting in line for only about 20 minutes. And I randomly, again, it's as if you like snap your fingers, I felt like I was gonna pass out. And I was like, oh my God. And I started freaking out, and I was like, Brian, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is bad. Like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out again. And he was like, calm down, just drink water. So I was drinking water, and I was like, I don't know if I can stay in the line. Like, I want to, but I don't know if I can. Like, I had been good for a week, and then all of a sudden I started feeling like really bad again. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I tried to get them to stay in line, and they wouldn't. They were good friends. Shout out to you guys. So we went into a gift shop. Like, we got out of line, went into a gift shop, and I sat on the ground just because there was AC in there. And I had them buy me a water, and I was not feeling good. So I called my mom, and we determined that I just need to go to an urgent care because that's all we can think of at this point. So they walked me to my car. Again, I didn't want them to, but they decided to walk me to my car. And we get to, if you've ever been to Universal, you know what like moving walkways are. So we get to the second moving walkway, and it was like the longest I had been without air conditioning, and I was not feeling good, so I decided to like squat down, hold onto the railing, and just like make it. And some group of officers noticed like what I was doing, and they like all talked to each other. They looked around, and then they like looked at me, and they were like, are you okay? And I was like, no. And so by the time I got off the moving walkway, like they had a wheelchair ready for me, and so I sit in the wheelchair, and they get me more water. They have the park nurse comes up and is taking my blood pressure and talking to me, and I'm explaining the vertigo and the rash and everything. And it was such a stressful, embarrassing experience because like there's all these people, all these tourists from all over the world, which it doesn't matter because I won't ever see them again. But in the moment, it was just very stressful because I thought I was gonna pass out. I didn't know what was happening with me, and so I'm just like, okay, like let me just get through this experience. And so they tell me afterwards, like, my blood pressure's fine, my heart rate's fast, but I'm just stressed out. They said, well, at this point we can either let you go or we can call you an ambulance. And I wasn't unconscious. I didn't need an ambulance. So I just asked them if we could take the wheelchair to my car because I didn't think I could walk. And so they said yes. So thank you, Universal, for being so nice about that. They had an officer go with us, and they took the wheelchair back after we were done. We go to an urgent care right near Universal, and when we get there, my mom's gonna meet us there, and I just don't feel good, so I go to the bathroom. I end up throwing up, and it made me feel a lot better. I still didn't feel great though, so we still went in and talked to the lady. We asked her about the rash, which at that point wasn't even on me, but we had pictures, so we were showing her that. They took my blood. She told me that vertigo, apparently once you have it, like you're still not supposed to go outside or like do anything strenuous for like a couple weeks afterwards, and nobody told me this. So after that, she gives me some anti-nausea medication, and so I didn't think I'd need it, but apparently I did because the next 2 days I just felt nauseous all the time. I just didn't feel myself. I almost ended up staying home and having my parents take me to the hospital the next day. I decided that college was the better option because all of my stuff is here. Like, there are people here who can take care of me. My parents technically can't do anything for me because I'm 18 now. So I was just taking it easy, and then Monday rolls around because we had just gone up for the weekend. And so it comes to Monday, and I have to turn in a paper. So I was like, okay, like I parked as close as I could to the building, and I walk from my car to the building, and about 3/4 of the way there, I start to feel like I'm gonna pass out. And I'm like, oh my God, like why does this keep happening to me? So I'm like, you know what, let me just go turn my paper in. So I turn it in, and then I'm gonna sit in the hallway and just cool down, and then I'll walk back to my car. So I'm sitting in the hall, and I don't feel good. Like I feel almost as bad as I did like at Universal, and I was like, this is not good. So I didn't want to be alone, so I go into my teacher's office, and I was like, hey, like I really don't feel good. Like you kind of know what's been going on with me. Like it's not good right now. I think I'm gonna have some friends come pick me up. She was super nice, super understanding. She was like, yeah, just stay here. She's like, do you need more water? Do you need anything? I can drive you back if you need something. I was like, no, I'm okay. Thank you so much. So my friends came, they drove around the building, brought me back to my dorm, and I just rested, and I started looking up doctors immediately because I I need to just see a doctor because I'm not bad enough to go to the hospital because there's no like immediate thing happening. I just need a doctor to give me some answers because I need to know what's going on because it had been a while now. So I find a primary care physician, and the next day I go. It was like a 40-minute drive, but it was worth it because these people are so nice. I love them. We go to the doctor, and they do another blood test, an EKG, and a urine test. And so I have to make an appointment for 2 weeks later. He said he looked at the pictures, and that he was the one who told me that the rash was an allergic reaction. And then he told me basically drink plenty of fluids, avoid going in the heat. Just the same things everybody else had been telling me. He just said to stay relaxed and just in 2 weeks we'll see how I am. So I set up my appointment, and so for those next like 2 weeks I was okay. And I had a really weird experience. It was 2 days in a row. One day I went to Target with a friend, and the next day I went to Walmart. And when I walked in, I immediately felt like I was going to pass out for a second, but then I kind of told myself to stop, and then it went away, and I got a really bad headache. Same thing happened again the next day when I went to Walmart, which was weird to me. So I told him about that, like my doctor, when I went to my follow-up. We went over the test. He said everything looks perfect, so there's nothing wrong with me. He said it's probably still just like the vertigo. And so he said sometimes it'll take like a week to get out of your system. Some people it takes, he said he had one patient it took 6 weeks. For me, it's been about a month and a week so far, so like 5 weeks, I guess. After next week, I'm hoping I don't have the feeling anymore, but he said I should start going outside, stay hydrated, of course. Like, he's like, don't push yourself, but like get yourself to start getting used to like going outside and being in the heat again. Because I live in Florida and it's hot, so like, and he told me that if I started to feel like I was going to pass out again, then I need to call him immediately because we have to do other heart testing because the only thing it could be at that point is I have some sort of heart problem. So I think I'm okay. I've been good this whole week so far. Now it's more so just getting like reused to like living life and going outside. Like, I'm a very extroverted person, and so I'm normally out of my room all the time. Like the first couple weeks of college, I was never in here. Like I just slept in here and that was it. But recently, like this past month, I've literally been in my room all the time, and that's kind of what like inspired me to start a YouTube channel because I felt really lonely and just alone. But when I talk to a camera, I seem to not feel as alone because I feel like I'm having a conversation with somebody. And I don't know, I couldn't find any shows on Netflix, and I used to be really into YouTube, but then I kind of like stopped, and then now I'm back like into it, and I was binge watching all these videos, and I was like, you know what, like I kind of want to do this. So yeah, so getting vertigo almost made me start my channel. I'll probably clickbait this video in that way.
One, I don't know why I said clickbait like that, and two, that sentence didn't even make sense, so I'm sorry.
Very, very interesting experience that I've had this past month that I've never had anything like this before. If you've ever gotten vertigo, let me know in the comments below. So yeah, so that was my experience with vertigo and kind of inspired me to start my YouTube channel. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. I'm not really sure what this channel is going to be, but I like vlogging. I like the idea of that. I like just sitting and talking. And I also like doing fun things, so we'll see. But yeah, so all my social media is in the description below. And yeah, I don't really have an outro yet, but I will figure that out. I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe, like this video. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, peace out, and see you next time. Bye. I forget to breathe when I tell stories, and I'm out of breath. My heart rate's probably really fast too. Anyways, so I keep forgetting to breathe.